parla di cambiamento climatico e fra coloro che appunto sostengono che c'è un'accelerazione, siamo entrati in una fase assolutamente nuova e devastante, e chi sostiene invece che sostanzialmente i cambiamenti climatici e questi fenomeni estremi ci sono sempre stati. Ecco, tu come rispondi a chi pensa che in fondo questi casi estremi fanno parte della normalità?
There's nothing normal about the extreme cases that we see today. Look, I don't know if you know the Italian journalist Stefano Liberti. He wrote a wonderful book called Terra Bruciata, which I strongly recommend to everyone. And he shows in that book that until the year 2000, extreme weather events in Italy were more or less similar to those in Spain and in England. Between then and 2020, and there were like about 20 each year, 20 of these extreme weather events each year. The rate at which these extreme weather events have increased in Italy is literally unbelievable, because today you have 5 extreme weather events in Italy every day. You know, it's an astonishing statistic, because actually Italy is one of the most vulnerable countries in the world, because you're a peninsula that sticks out into the Mediterranean, which is heating up much faster than other oceans. So that's why in Italy you have so many of these events all the time. Look, you know, I think this correlation that's often made, that poor countries are more likely to face disaster than rich countries, it's completely wrong. I think it's very, very misleading. I think the actual correlation is that countries where there has been the greatest degree of interference in the environment are the countries which will actually see the greatest number of disasters. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why you've had this kind of a terrible series of disasters, especially in this region, the Veneto. And it didn't start today. You have to remember that, you know, there was the terrible Vajont disaster, you know, which was, what is it now, almost 70 years ago. And again, you know, 50. Yes. That, again, you know, there were forewarnings. Everybody said that this is the wrong place to build a dam of that kind, yet the dam went ahead. And, you know, it caused this terrible disaster. But, you know, what I call terraforming has been happening in this region since the 17th century, you know, and it's been happening in many ways, draining swamps, reclaiming land, and so on. Now those lands are being reclaimed by the sea. You know, you see that all around. So the Po River is actually one of the most vulnerable rivers in the world. As you've seen in the last few years, it's almost running dry. You take even these mountains, you know, you were talking about the terrible winds that blew down all the trees. Why did that happen? It's because the Republic of Venice a long time ago decided to create monocultures, you know. Venice had the greatest violin makers in the world. Why? Because you had this unbelievable tree, you know, red cedars growing in the mountains. Now you don't find those trees there.